Well, this is basically an admission, the first kind of admission I've seen from the mainstream media that we are indeed engaged in a proxy war. They're, to use their words, a new forever war against Russia, using Ukraine as an intermediary, something that you and I have been pointing out since the beginning of this war. For a year and a half now, we have been explaining that this is what's going on, and we've been ridiculed and attacked for it. The consensus among the mainstream media has been that actually we are simply helping the plucky Ukrainians stand up for themselves against the evil Russian Empire, against evil authoritarian Vladimir Putin, who wants to restore the Soviet Empire and who sees himself as a new Tsar. But now we are finally kind of getting a little bit of the truth. And we're getting an inside look at the command post at which the U.S. is waging its proxy war against Russia, selecting targets for the Ukrainians. And as Milley says, quote, our intelligence pipes to Ukraine are quite open.
These are unclassified because we're here. Track the painful progress of the offensive. It looks like the Ukrainians, the yellow, have cut a pretty good wedge out of the Russian lines.
That's true, yeah.
What physically is that they've had to get through?
Well, it's minefields.
Boom.
It's trenches, it's ditches, it's small, 10, 12 men.
Just right there, they're showing Ukrainians just getting wasted in the counteroffensive. That was a horrible shot.
That video, that was a compressed version of one of the most horrifying videos I've ever seen. That video, if you watch it in its entirety, shows an entire armored carrier full of Ukrainians get dropped off directly into a minefield, and one by one, they blow themselves up. More of them come out to rescue the other Ukrainians who've lost legs and limbs, and then they get blown up too. It's horrifying what they're basically subjecting these people to. They're kidnapping these Ukrainian men off the streets. Most of them are trying to go into hiding. The ones that get caught trying to escape or going to work, they get thrown in the paddy wagon and they get deposited at some undisclosed location, perhaps in Poland, and then they get 3 weeks of basic training, shoot a rifle a handful of times, and then they get thrown onto that. And that's
by Milley.
Now we're by Milley, right? Not by the Ukrainian, whatever is left of the Ukrainian regime, which is just a puppet of the people like Mark Milley. Yes.
He's armed with anti-tank munitions.
What other defenses are they going to encounter if they make it through those?
Those orange lines you see there are Russian trench lines. And in between those orange lines, which you don't
But those orange lines, all that's Palantir AI maps.
see, are minefields and tank ditches and what's called dragon's teeth, barbed wire, that sort of thing. This is a multi-layered Russian defense in depth.
The U.S. advertises the $44 billion in military equipment it has committed to Ukraine, but says very little about the equally valuable intelligence. Do you share what you know about Russian troop movements with Ukraine?
Our intelligence pipes to Ukraine are quite open, for sure. And of course, the CIA and interagency, NSA, all those guys. So, but there's pretty open pipes on intel to Ukraine.
So are you helping Ukraine select targets?
Target selection and authority to strike is with Ukraine. What we do is provide them situational awareness.
But you tell them there's a command post over there, there's an ammunition dump over there.
We'll give them the situational awareness as best we can tell.
So this really is a proxy war. You don't have boots on the ground. You're not making decisions, but you're helping Ukraine kill Russians.
We're helping Ukraine defend themselves is what we're doing.
The Ukrainian goal is to reach.
He doesn't say that it's not a proxy war. He's basically like, yeah, pretty much.
Right.
So
he says he says what people like, Mitt Romney, there's Lindsey Graham have all been saying, which is, this is actually a wonderful situation for us. This is kind of what he's getting at. Oh, we get to degrade Russia's military capabilities, quote unquote, without actually having to expend any American blood, just hundreds of billions of dollars of taxpayer money.